Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys and Magic. This is Hunter and Shane. Say what up, Shane?
What's up, nerds?
We are back doing the bigger, the badder, the crazier addition to the counterintelligence deck using Kilo Apogee Mind at the helm. We've already seen the $100 upgrade for this deck, and boy, Shane, you made it so mean. Kind of a little bit of a combo route. Wasn't expecting that, but I'm very excited to see what you've done with this $300 upgrade. So, yeah. But before we get started, I just want to remind everybody to hit the like button and subscribe because you don't want to miss out on the cool content we are constantly making for you guys. So yeah, we appreciate all of you. And Shane, let's just get right into it, man. Let's talk about Kilo. Remind the people, what does Kilo do and how crazy is it?
Kilo's crazy, dude. You said it yourself. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Kilo, Kilo is a blue, a red, and a white for a 3/3 robot artificer. It's got haste, and it says whenever he becomes tapped, proliferate. Probably one of the easiest ways to proliferate I've ever seen, or at least in a long time. And you did mention, yes, I put some combos in there, but let me just defend myself. I'm not probably winning off the combos. I mean, you are, but basically the combos are just proliferation a million bajillion infinity times. But that's this deck. Your deck, you just want to proliferate, dude. Everything that we're trying to do is about proliferation. Really
Yeah.
good card.
Yeah, Kilo is absolutely nuts. Like you said, one of the easier ways to proliferate ever. There are so many ways just to get Kilo tapped. I mean, hey, this is a spacecraft deck. Just tap it by crewing, or should I say stationing your spacecraft, and there you go. You tapped it.
There you
It's
go.
absolutely nuts. But let's get into the additions, Shane. On the screen right now, those are all of the additions that you're keeping from that $100 video, correct?
Correct. They were super spicy, and I loved them in that. We're bringing them over.
Okay. And also down below, if you guys wanted to see the reasoning behind it, well, check it out in the video. But Shane, let's get into these bigger, badder creatures up first. What are we throwing in?
Bigger budget. We're throwing in bigger toys. Esper Sentinel's going in this now. 1 white mana for an artifact creature, human soldier. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless they pay X, where X is his power. Pretty good card here. We're gonna start putting counters on them, and like I said, proliferating. And hey, you're gonna be probably guaranteed to draw a card.
One of the best one drops you can draw in EDH, Esper Sentinel. There's a reason that price tag's there. This card is going to get nuts. And yeah, like you said, it starts off as a 1/1. It's not going to be a 1/1 for long.
No, this deck has enough put counters on things and then proliferation, and it's gonna be nuts. Also wanted to, win the game. So here's a win con. Herald of the Secret Streams, 3 and a blue for a Merfolk Warrior, 2/3. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them can't be blocked. There you go. So now we're making big stuff, and I don't care if you have blockers. I'm gonna smash through. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I'm also putting in Ledger Shredder, 1 and a blue for a Bird Advisor, the 1/3. It's got flying. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Ledger Shredder connives. A fantastic way to draw cards, fantastic way to add counters, and then proliferate. And it's in the air, so it's got evasion. Maybe you don't have Herald out for unblockable. You're getting damage in.
So far, all three of these creatures, absolute slam dunks of cards to throw into this deck. And these next two are terrifying as well.
It's only getting more spicy. I'm putting in Spark Double. So 3 and a blue for a creature illusion. It's a 0/0. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature, and it enters with additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. And it isn't legendary if it's legendary. So you know what's better than 1 kilo? 2 kilos with a counter. This card's gonna be nuts, even if it's not kilo. Obviously, I want kilo because then I'm just like tapping, 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 tapping. But let's just say it's not a kilo. There's tons of other targets for this card. It's so good.
Yeah, it is so good indeed. Like this is easy included as well as this next one. This next card has just been dumb since
This
it's been printed.
this next card is it should have been in the 100, but it's just you can't. It's too expensive. But VV Orniteer is going in. It's 1, a blue, and a red for a 0/3 legendary creature wizard. You could pay 0, add X mana of any combination of blue or red, where X is VV's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. And then it also says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Vivi. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. There's just like too much text on this card. I don't know why it exists. But basically, you put the counter on it, and then we're gonna proliferate a bunch, and then we're gonna tap for like a billion mana, and then hurt our opponents too. Like this card goes so perfect in this deck.
Yeah. And, I mean, I just added up all of your entire deck list real quick. There's 37 non creatures in this deck. So you're going to be pinging your opponents pretty regularly. This is just going to keep growing. You're just going to get free mana because that's the cost of it. It's just free.
It's just free.
It's, yeah, easy to
It's
include.
free real estate.
It's free real estate. But that looks like all the creatures. Let's move on to some non creatures. I see a couple of artifacts.
Yep. A couple of things that might look familiar. The Ozolith is going in this build as well. 1 mana for a legendary artifact. It says whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith at the beginning of combat on your turn. If the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all those counters from the Ozolith on a target creature. Just a great way to save your counters. Your stuff is going to die. That's a fact. But now, your counters won't.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Stuff will die because that's just what happens, right? Your opponent's going to see you getting out of hand. They're going to say, you got to slow down. But you get to keep all that cool stuff that was stuck to that creature.
Yep. Another artifact that I'm very quickly falling in love with, Magistrate's Scepter. 3 mana for an artifact. You can pay for, tap it, put a charge counter on this card. Then you can tap it, remove 3 charge counters, take an extra turn. I put this in the 100 of the face commander because it was very easy to add charge counters. It's really easy to add charge counters here too when you're proliferating a ton. So now it's not going to be unheard of to just take infinite turns. It's going to be crazy, dude.
Yeah, you mentioned like a finisher. This is pretty much a finisher, right?
Yeah.
If you can get a way to proliferate 3 times per turn, that's game. You
Yep.
got that in the bag because you're just tapping, removing 3, taking an extra turn. Next turn, making 3 more, tapping, take another. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild.
And even if you don't, like, let's just say you have one of the combos I mentioned, because the combos literally only proliferate, they don't win you the game. So I wanted to make sure I added some stuff that can win off of the proliferation. So there you go. You proliferation a million times, then you'll have a million turns and win. Speaking of things that'll help you win with proliferation, this one's kind of spicy. I put in the Millennium Calendar. It is 1 mana for a legendary artifact. Whenever you untap 1 or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on the Millennium Calendar. You could pay 2, tap it, double the number of counters on the Millennium Calendar. When there are 1,000 or more time counters on the Millennium Calendar, sacrifice it and each opponent loses 1,000 life. That kind of sounds like a meme, I get that. But if in fact you do have your infinite, proliferation, it's not a meme. And even if you don't have infinite proliferation, this is just going to do one of those, exponentially double, double, double. It's not going to be unheard of to win with this card, I don't think.
Yeah, if you have your little combo route, this would be such a funny way to win the game. I've never seen
Yeah.
anyone win with the Millennium Calendar, and
That's why it's going in.
you just tapping and tapping to proliferate a bazillion times, and you're like, okay, 1,000. Everyone loses 1,000 life. I win. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Speaking
Yep.
of just proliferating a billion times, we're moving on to enchantments. I think if you do that with this card, I think you win as well.
Yep. Another way to win with proliferation, like I mentioned, all will be one. I put it in the 300 of the face after I found out that the card existed. I mean, I knew it existed, but after just finding out how good it is in this strategy, it's got to go in. 3 and 2 red for an enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be one deals that much damage to target opponent, creature opponent controls, or planeswalker opponent controls. Every proliferation now deals damage? That's kind of mean.
Yeah. Because if you have multiple things of proliferating, then you're going to be pinging 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1,
Yep.
and you're just going to be
Yep.
nuking the board. It's going to be
We
done.
will all be one.
All will be one. Speaking of ways to win, Shane, it's time to move on to your land department. And I am seeing, well, it's a land that can win the game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's again, like in the 300, I try not to focus on Infect because I know that it's very mean, but I love Infect. And Inkmoth Nexus goes so good in this deck, so I put it in both of them. It's a land you can tap it for colorless. You can pay 1, and it becomes a 1/1 Blink Moth artifact creature with flying and Infect till end of turn. Just to get the train rolling, boom. Infect, proliferate, pretty easy.
Pretty easy indeed. Not bad when you just create it from a land. Speaking of lands, we got three more.
In the 100 of this deck, I focused on more of the budget, and I didn't really get to put any lands in. So now that we have more budget, I wanted to put the lands in that I love. So I put in all the bond lands. Sea of Cloud, Spectator Seating, and Trading Center. They all enter the battlefield tapped unless you have two or more opponents, which hopefully you have, EDH. And then they tap for their respective colors, a white and a blue, a red and a white, and a blue and a red. I typically put these in the 100 just because in my head they're just like the EDH lands. But like I said, didn't have the budget. Now I do.
Now you do indeed, and they are the best lands in all of EDH in my opinion. So, hey, put them in the deck. Wish they came into the deck, but they don't. But yeah, Shane, is that it? Is that all the additions?
That's it.
I love it. I hate it. It's very, very powerful. I can see why you built it, but it's time to cut some cards now. So before we get into the almighty cuts for the 300 on the screen, those are all the cuts from the 100. Staying the same?
They're staying the same. I wanted them out. They're staying out.
Okay. Speaking of staying out, these next four creatures are also staying out.
Getting out, that's for sure. I'm going to be cutting Alebo, Ancient Witness. 3, a red and a white for a 4/5. Legendary artifact creature Golem. It says other artifact creatures you control have haste, and whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, this guy deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. Seems like a pretty good card. Little heavy, little 5, and the redundancy of giving your artifact creatures haste. I mean, I can see where if it's not your commander, you might want haste, but your commander got haste. And I just think for what it's doing, I'm going to be leaning in a different direction a little bit. So I cut him to make room. I'm also cutting Chrome Host Seed Shark again. It is 2 and a blue for a Phyrexian Shark. 2/4. It's got flying, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you incubate X. It's a little slow, and I get that the proliferation here, you can make them really big and then flip them, but it's still the waiting. And I just don't know if I want to do it now. I'm going to cut it here too. Speaking of one that I cut in the 300s again, the Depth Shaker Titan. 5 and 2 red for a 5/5 robot. When this creature enters, any number of target non-creature artifacts you control become 3/3 artifact creatures. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step, and then all your artifacts get melee, trample, and haste. Really good card again. I just don't think I want it here. It's a little heavy, and if you do turn all your stuff into 3/3s, then they're dead. So you're basically just paying that mana for the static, which could be good, but I'm cutting it. The last big one that I'm cutting here, Threefold Thunderhulk, 7 mana. It's an artifact creature gnome. This creature enters with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature enters or attacks, create a number of 1/1 colors and gnome artifact creature tokens equal to its power. You can also pay the 2, sacrifice another artifact, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I think it's a good card. It's just really heavy. You need to wait until you have 7. I know proliferation again in this deck. You can make it get really, really big, but I don't know. I don't want it anymore. I'm cutting it.
Yeah, you can make this big. You can make your board wide. Same with Chrome Host Seed Shark. You can make those incubator tokens bigger too. And Malibu makes stuff, and Death Shaker can make stuff. But all in all, Shane, the additions that you've done with this deck and made the direction of this deck a little bit different into more of a hey, we're just gonna proliferate our opponents to death is such a better way to do things, in my opinion. So I can see why these are getting cut. Moving on, though, we do have some non-permanent spells, 2 sorceries.
Yeah, the first one, kind of a budget-ish in my opinion, but Chain Reaction, 2 and 2 red, sorcery. It deals X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. So it's kind of like a blasphemous-ish, but not really. I get it. It's one of those things where it maybe wipes the board, maybe doesn't. Uh, I don't know. I want to guarantee that I'm wiping. Maybe this won't. So I'm cutting it. I'm also cutting Universal Surveillance. X in 3 blue. It's got to improvise though, so you can tap your artifacts to help cast this spell, and then draw X cards. Could be really good. Guaranteed. Understand that. Could be also very heavy, and it could be tapping all your stuff. I get that your commander wants to be tapped. That's really good. But other than that, maybe I don't want everything to be tapped. And there's still tons of drawing in this deck. So don't be afraid. You're not going to be losing too much drawing.
Yeah. This, once again, just kind of a little easy couple of cuts here. Like you mentioned, a little bit of a budget friendly. So we're in a bigger budget now. Moving on back into the permanent spells, we are taking out a couple of artifacts.
We added 3 artifacts. We're cutting 3, so we're staying the same in that department. But like I've said a couple times in multiple videos now, out of the box, this deck had so many mana producers, like an unheard of amount. So I'm going to be cutting one of them here. Everflowing Chalice for 0. Artifact with a multi-kicker of 2. This artifact enters with a charge counter on it for each time it was kicked, and then it taps for the amount of charge counters on it. I understand again, proliferation can make this tap for a billion, but it's one of those things where how many of these do you want in the deck? I think that 3, 4, maybe 5, like there's a ton. So we're cutting 1. I'm also cutting Gavel of the Righteous, 2 mana, artifact, equipment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a charge counter on this equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on this equipment. As long as equipment has 4 or more counters on it, equipped creature has Double Strike, and you can equip by paying for 3 or removing a counter. I still like this card. I think it's going to be probably really good in more of like a Voltron-y style deck. And I understand, again, I think I keep saying this over and over again. I want to be sure that I understand that proliferation does help these things. But what I'm adding in is more focus, where this is kind of just generically good in my opinion. I'm cutting it. And then the last one is Titan Forge, 3 mana artifact. Pay 3, tap it, put a charge counter on this artifact. You can tap it, remove 3 charge counters from this artifact, create a 9/9 colorless golem creature token. You know what's better than just making a 9/9 by removing 3? Maybe taking a turn. So I feel like that was a pretty easy, just 1-for-1 there, in my opinion.
That is actually better than making a 9/9. Taking an extra turn and doing more stuff, or just infinite turns, that seems like a pretty good thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah, so once again, all 3 of these cards, love your reasoning behind cutting them. They just don't fit in the deck anymore. Speaking of not fitting in the deck, Shane, we did see you add 4 lands. We are removing 4 lands.
We added 4, so we're cutting 4. And the 4 that we're cutting are not very good. Evolving Wilds. You can tap it, sacrifice the land, search for a basic land card, put on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Very, very, very budget friendly card. I cut it. And then all 3 temples getting out this time. Temple of Enlightenment, Epiphany, and Triumph. Now that we were able to add the bond lands, these are getting cut. I always do 1-for-1 swaps. They all enter the battlefield tapped always. They scry 1 when they enter, and then they tap for their respective colors. White and a blue, blue and a red, red and a white. I don't like them. They're out.
Yeah, all 4 lands, they are very budget friendly. They are always in every single precon every time a precon is made, I feel like, and easy swaps here. But Shane, is that going to do it? Is that your entire upgrade?
That's it. That's my kilo.
All right, Shane. Well, one question that the people at home are wondering, you added all those cards together. What's your total amount of money you spent?
The time of recording, taking into account for the 100 that came over, you could pick up all these for $294.
That is awesome. And we did see you add in some new cards, so that is all pre-order prices. This video is coming out well before release date, so maybe you're saving some people even more money when this set comes out. But Shane, one more quick question before we end things. Now that you've built Kilo, this card screamed you when it first got spoiled. How do you feel about Kilo?
So good, dude. It's such a good card. I think that if you pick up this commander, it's pretty good. It's out of the box, kind of structured a little bit, and this deck will do well for you. The way that I would do this though is just build around him. You could build it so mean just because the deck is out of the box, more structured towards the whole spacecraft thing, which is awesome. Totally love that. And he helps that synergy, but it doesn't really go both ways kind of thing. So we did our best to support him, but I just love him. I think you can build an insane deck with this card.
I mean, you have built an insane deck with this card.
That's
This
true. You can get even crazier though.
this deck is nuts. And if you guys wanted to see it at home, check the link in the description for the entire deck list. It is as crazy as you've seen these 2 videos because it seems like so much fun. Playtest it yourself right there in the Moxfield link. While you're down there, you'll find links to all of our social media accounts. Follow us on those as well. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so you're staying up to date with all of our future content that we are putting out for you guys. And comment down below. You guys agree with these upgrades? Maybe Shane's missing something. Maybe Shane cut something that you feel like should have stayed in the deck. We're always interested to hear your guys' opinions on everything. It makes us better deck builders. And on the screen right now, there's all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, including early access content, exclusive content, and a bunch of other cool other things, check the link in the description. Consider subscribing. And a very special shout out to our Gains Indestructible tier, starting with Aaron Hill,
Aaron Martin,
Brian Ganella,
Daryl Tripp,
Demarion Turner,
Dr. Rom,
Yasminder Pabla,
Jimmy Ward,
Jay Pizzle,
Kevo,
Larry Killian,
Samuel Abbott,
Stingraiser1144, Thrifty PSGR.
and William Colombo.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye-bye.